Hey everybody, Julie here from Mostly Caffeinated. Today I wanted to combine a video that I had already planned to film today and a new series that I thought I'd participate in. I've just recently been watching Stay-at-Home Mommyisms here on YouTube. I will link her channel in the down bar. And just this morning, actually, she started a series called 5 on Friday, which I think is a genius way to make kind of a very succinct Friday video. You don't necessarily have to think too terrifyingly hard. She did hers as like a favorites type video or an empties. I think a favorites. But I thought I'd take it one step further and see if I could combine it with another type of video that I was already planning to film when I planned to film on a Friday. So today I was going to film kind of a what I got for Christmas video. And I thought, ooh, perfect. And as luck would have it, I had exactly 5 items that I was going to tell you about anyway. So this is a 5 on Friday video and also a what I got for Christmas video. Now, at the beginning of these kinds of videos, there's usually a disclaimer, like, oh, I'm not trying to brag. If you're upset about these kind of videos, please click out. I feel like I don't even need to say that. This might be a little bit different of a what I got for Christmas video. These things, I'm looking at the things that are next to me, are largely, like, practical. They're very what I would call modest. Like, I don't get designer things. I don't get fancy skincare. I don't ask for makeup for Christmas. I do actually get gifts from a large number of people, but my family is not into extravagant gift giving. They never have been. It's just the way we are. With my own children, I don't give extravagantly expensive gifts, and my family doesn't do that either. Even my in-laws. We all have a budget. We talk ahead of time about what the budget is that we're spending on each person, and that's it. Really what I picked out was the highlights. I picked out my 5 favorite gifts, and it has nothing to do with monetary value, you will see. But really my 5 favorite things as far as my own attempts at minimalism, as far as the thought that people had to put into them, things like that. So this is like the highlights. There was more things than I could ever possibly need. But these were, like the top 5 things. Okay, first of all, it's this giant thing over here. Because I do one takes, I had to bring it in here, or I would have inserted a clip of it or something, because this is insane to try to show you. But let me back up. You see this thing right here, this like wooden thing? This is not a table. This is my first gift I wanted to show you. It is, let me put my leg up here. It is a record player. Okay, can I open it? Can you see in there? There, ta-da! It's a record player. Of course. It's actually, it's cool. It opens, when you open the lid up, it automatically like latches itself to stay open for you. So that's nice. It's a Grosley Collector's Edition. That's what it's called. So I'm thinking what it is it's a reproduction of an old style record player. The mechanism inside, the arm and the turntable look new. And the box looks like it's from the 70s or 80s, but it's very new condition-wise. And the finish is not lacquer finish. It's like normal varnish. So I'm guessing it's a reproduction. I'm saying guessing because that was a gift from my sister-in-law, and she buys things secondhand like I do. She likes to shop at the thrift stores. And I had asked for a new record player because we got rid of mine when we moved. It was very old. It wasn't working very well. So we got rid of it. So I haven't had one. And my boys really enjoy listening to records. I enjoy playing records for my boys. So she got me that. Okay, the next thing. This might be kind of ridiculous. I don't know how many of you have turned this corner into adulting that I have turned. But I am at the point in my life, especially as I try to become more minimalistic, where nice versions of things I already have but can get rid of, or already have but don't work right, are like my jam. Okay. And my mom, my dear sweet mother, bought me socks because I asked for them. I saw her socks when I was home for Thanksgiving, and I was like, dude, I need some. I think there were 4 pairs. I think this is all the pairs that came in there. I wanted to show you kind of what it looked like because I don't have the label. I got so excited about these that I opened them on Christmas morning and started wearing them, and I threw away the packaging. I know she got them at a warehouse store. She either got them at Sam's Club or Costco. She's a member of both, so I'm not sure which. And they came like this. They came, long, packaged together. They are knee-high socks. I'm twirling them all around. You probably can't see this at all. They came packaged together long like this. And there's a beige pair, a gray pair, a navy blue pair, and a black pair. And they're all kind of heathered or mottled or speckled, whatever you want to call this. These are so soft and so warm, and they stay up. They actually go right up to underneath your kneecap, and they stay there. And I've kind of got a large calf. Like, I tend to wear wide calf boots. But these stay up wonderfully. They're perfect. I love them underneath, like my sorrels. They stick up about this high. Underneath my knee-high boots, they stick up just a little bit. They're wonderful neutral colors. They go with everything. Fantastic. That is not the first time that my mother has gotten me socks. That is actually the third Christmas that I've asked for socks. Once when I was in college and I realized I don't really own socks. And I went to college in Minnesota. And then 2 years ago, I think, at Sam's Club, she had shorter, kind of a crew sock. And they were a wool blend. And those are lovely. I love those. But I only have 4 pair because they came in a 4-pack. And that's not as many days as there are in a week. So now I've got half crew and half knee socks. Love them. The third thing I want to talk about is a gift for my husband. What actually happened is I ordered this for myself off the internet, and then I told him to give it to me because I couldn't justify spending $14 on a coffee mug when I already have dozens of coffee mugs. But there's a story behind this one. When I was still teaching, so this was at least 2 years ago, I was directing a musical because I love doing that. I did it every couple of years. And I was drinking coffee out of my normal coffee cups, walking around. I wasn't a travel mug kind of girl. I left this coffee cup, this exact coffee cup, in the gym while we were practicing for the musical, and it disappeared. I lost it. I don't know what became of it. I looked everywhere. It was my favorite coffee mug in the whole wide world, and it disappeared. And I haven't stopped thinking about that coffee mug for 2 years. Usually I have this rule, like if something disappears from my life, if it breaks, whatever, that means it was meant to go. It means I don't need one more thing. But I literally have not stopped thinking about this coffee mug for 2 years. So I wanted to replace it. And I looked for it on the internet. And I found that they don't exist. They are no longer sold. They are no longer made. I found 2 on Amazon. Like literally it said 2 are left, order now. And that was the only place I found them. So I ordered one even though it was $14 or something. And the MSRP on the bottom said it was supposed to be like $8. Obviously, they're marking them up. But this is what it looks like. It's a gray coffee mug with a navy blue graphic and a navy blue inside. And on one side, it's got a picture of an old ship, and it says, plans to give you hope in a future. On the other side, it says, I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope in a future. Jeremiah 29:11. This has always been one of my favorite Bible passages. So it's one of my favorite Bible passages, one of my favorite graphics, an old ship, some of my favorite colors, navy blue and gray, and a coffee mug. And it's huge. Okay, this is my hand right next to it. It's gigantic. It's from Christian Art Gifts, which that's a company that I've received other presents from recently, so it's not like the company is defunct. They just don't make this anymore. But it's got a big handle. It's a big mug. I just love this thing. So I was excited that he agreed to give that to me for Christmas, and then we didn't have to worry about any other presents. Okay, fourth thing. I don't actually have a physical thing to show you. The fourth favorite present that happened to me on Christmas is my husband and I didn't really exchange gifts. I mean, he gave me this coffee mug, but that was it. And then we have a very close set of friends who are married with 2 children, and we usually exchange gifts with them as well. And we all mutually decided not to exchange gifts. They didn't exchange with each other. We didn't exchange with each other. The 4 of us didn't exchange amongst each other. We said, let's do a Christmas with the cranks, and we're going to go on vacation. Now, we are modest folks of modest income, so we didn't go to Aruba or something. What we did is I planned a 2-night getaway to a cottage in the woods type of thing. And we found babysitters for our kids. We turned off our electronics, and we played board games and played cards and drank some champagne and drank coffee and watched a movie and cooked food together, and we just hung around for 2 days, and it was beautiful. It was the most amazing 2 days. I have never left my children before. Like, I have never gone on any kind of trip, not even overnight once, without my children. And I've never really felt the need to until the last few months. All four of us were kind of at the end of our rope. My friend is on bed rest. She's pregnant with her third child, and she's on bed rest. And our kids are 3 and 4 and 1.5 and 1. And it's been a little intense. And I really enjoyed the time to just do nothing. We had no responsibilities. I'm going to plan a blog post, I think, about vacation and why this vacation was so successful and what you can do to make your day-to-day life more like a vacation, because I've thought about it a lot since it's vacation. And I missed my children dearly. I missed them the second I got there because I knew my 3-year-old would have had funny things to say and stuff, but it was desperately needed. It was wonderful. It was a great idea. We did not all incur more stuff from exchanging more gifts. We just had a great time. I think we're going to do it every year. And then the last thing is my most sentimental and also most inexpensive gift that I received. This is from my sister. And it looks a little bit interesting. It looks a little bit like it might be a crazy craft lady. It's just a reused jar. I don't even know what this is a jar from, full of buttons. And at first I just thought it was cool. I mean, I've always kind of enjoyed funky buttons. And I was like, oh, this is cool. This is a fun little gift. She gave me some other things. This was packaged with it. So I thought, oh, it's just for fun. And then she started to tell me the story. Okay. When I was a little girl, our grandmother had like a huge box of buttons. And they were all these cool old vintage buttons. We used to dig through there and play in there. If we needed a button for a craft project or a school project or a sewing project, we'd just go to Grandma's and she'd let us paw through all these super cool buttons and take whatever we wanted and use. And I really kind of wanted to own those buttons. But when my grandmother died and I cleaned out her house with my parents, somehow the buttons did not get kept. The buttons got sent to an antique dealer or something. They were antique. She was born in the 20s. So somehow the buttons didn't get kept. And I guess my sister remembered that whole anecdote. And my sister married a man a little bit older than her, and his mother was quite elderly. He was the youngest by a lot. His mother was in their very late 70s when the two of them met, and she passed away a few years ago. And she didn't tell me this at the time. She just told me this on Christmas when she gave me these. But when her mother-in-law passed away, she also had a huge stash of antique buttons. And not only did my sister save me some of her mother-in-law's buttons, she actually literally went through and picked out buttons that were the same as the ones my grandmother had. Like this right here was the same button that my grandmother had on one of her coats. And I remember her having a lot of these buttons mixed in with her buttons. And these swirly ones. I mean, even in the reflection, I recognize these beautiful, like kind of gaudy rhinestone ones. These are the ones that I always picked out, of course, to use on my projects. These ridgy ones. I remember using one of these as a plate in a dollhouse one time when I was a child. I remember these red ones with all these extra holes. Like, she picked through and found buttons that were the same because her mother-in-law was probably only 10 years younger than my grandmother. And they had a lot of the same buttons that they'd saved off clothing over the years. So I haven't actually opened the jar. I'm not sure if I'm going to. Right now, I leave it sitting on my desk, like right beside my computer. I look at it all the time. And it reminds me of many things. It reminds me of my grandmother. It reminds me of my dear sweet sister, who's had a lot of challenges in her life, but she maintains some of her best qualities, some of which are being extremely thoughtful and extremely creative. And it also reminds me that it doesn't take money to make a wonderful gift or to make someone's day brighter. It doesn't take things that are new or things that are flashy. Literally a jar of buttons that is 70 years old is the most wonderful gift I've been given in a number of years. and I'm really enjoying just having it here as a reminder. I will use them if I need a button for something. I will dig through, but it's just a beautiful little gift that I leave sitting over here so I can look at it every day. And that's my 5 for Friday this Friday. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd also like to participate in 5 for Friday, just use that hashtag, use that as part of your title. Leave a comment with a link to your video. Maybe even leave a comment with a link on Stay-at-Home Mommyisms videos, because that's what she asked for. And I'll type that hashtag out in the description in case you need that, in case you're not a verbal person. But I hope you're having a great Friday. See you soon. Bye.